Good morning, students. So we are now in chapter 2 and let's discuss the representing absolute value of a number on a number line. Okay, by the way, again, this is Mom Rachel. Okay, now let's discuss the absolute value of a number. So it is the distance of a number from 0. So bear in mind that when we say absolute value, no, it talks about the distance. Unsa kaladyoa from 0 to that number. Okay. No, let's now find out. Remember, distance itself is always positive. So always should not positive ang distance. There is no negative distance. No? So if you're going to travel, for example, from Mabini to Loreto, Dinagat Islands, so we can say that the distance from Mabini to Loreto, Dinagat Islands is negative 7 kilometers. So, no, there is no such thing as negative when we will talk about distance. It's always positive. Okay, so the absolute value of a number is written as this symbol. If n is our number, no? So we have here two um, two lines, so between n, two parallel lines between n, so that is the symbol for absolute value. Okay, so if x is a positive integer, so if x is a positive integer, then the absolute value of x is x. So in symbol, if we have the absolute value of x, so this is equal to x. If x is greater than 0. Okay, so if x is greater than 0, so greater than 0, now these are the numbers, these are the positive numbers. Okay, so example, if we have the absolute value of 7, so our answer is 7. No? Since 7 is a positive integer, then the absolute value of 7 is 7. Next, if x is equal to 0, then the absolute value of x is x. No? Absolute value of x is x in symbol if we have the absolute value of x, so our answer is x. Okay, even if x is equal to 0. Okay, example, no? Absolute value of 0 is equal to 0 since 0 is equal to 0. Then the absolute value of 0 is 0. So always remember this one. Okay, next. If x is negative integer, so our x here is a negative, then the absolute value of x is the opposite of x. So since our x here is negative, so the opposite of x, the opposite of negative x is positive x, and this is the absolute value. If x is less than 0, so less than 0, the values of our x here is negative or are all negative. Now example, we have the absolute value of negative 10. So what is the opposite of negative 10? It is positive 10. Okay, so that is how the absolute value. Another example, if we have the absolute value, for example, of negative 15, okay, if we have the absolute value of negative 15, so the opposite of negative 16 is positive 15. Okay, so now that is the absolute value. Okay, are we clear? Okay, now just follow my discussion. In writing the absolute value of a number, just write the numerical part. Okay, so the symbol value of 5 is 5. So 5 here is a numerical part, no? So 5 is 5. Then symbol, absolute value of 5 is 5. Just copy the numerical part. O kanilang numero nga naa diri. Now regarding sa sign, basta when we say absolute value, the answer is always positive since distance ang hisgutan. Later on, no, you will illustrate that one. Why is it nga positive man gajud? Okay, you will know. Okay, we will use the number line in illustrating the distance, no? In illustrating the absolute value. The absolute value of negative 5 is 5. Okay, in symbol, we have here negative, the absolute value of negative 5. So the numerical part is only this one, no, only the 5. So that is equal to 5. Okay, now let's illustrate. Okay, para mas masabtan nato. Now represent the following absolute value of a number on a number line. So we have here our number line. Now we will find the absolute value of 6. Always remember that in the definition of absolute value, it is a distance from 0 to the number. Okay, 6 man. So if our 0 is in here, so the distance from 0 to 6 is, now we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So thus the distance is 6, or the absolute value is 6. Okay. Number 2, absolute value of 0. Since 0 naman siya, and we will find the distance from 0 to 0, so then our absolute value is 0. Okay. Next, negative 3. You will find the absolute value of negative 3. So, again, we will find the distance from 0 to negative 3. This is our 0 and this is our negative 3. Now we will find the distance from 0. So count 1, 2, and 3. So that is why this is positive 3. So I hope that I am clear on this topic, and see you next video. I hope you understand. Again, this is Teacher Rachel, and have a good day ahead.